to 40.6 trillion naira in February, from where it rose by 34% to 54.5 trillion naira in March. Now, the volume of e-payment transactions stood at 1.12 billion naira in January, rising by 29% month-on-month to 1.5 billion naira in February, and up by 46% month-on-month to 2.1 billion in March. NIB's instant payment channel had the highest volume of transactions with 123.72 trillion naira, and the largest volume of transactions with 2.5 billion during the period. Oluwasegun Elegbede is the Public Relations Officer of the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria, AMBAN. He joins me now to discuss further on this recent development. Thanks for joining us, Segun.
Thank you, Justin.
All right, it's as though the electronic channels for payment this period is actually having a field day with transactions actually rising. But in your opinion, how would you really say that the POS industry actually has performed in the past 3 months?
Well, in the wake of the policies released by the CBN, I would say it's topsy-turvy. At some point, many of our members, POS agents, were out of business. Over 70% of them during the cash crunch. And also, the few ones that were available were really having traction in the transaction that the volume increased because, of course, limited number of agents were available to. So I would say it is tender here and there, but of course, what really has given us this figure that you nailed out is because people actually embrace alternative channels for transactions when the cash was not available, and so not necessarily the conventional banks, the fintechs had the field day and they saved the day for so many Nigerians. People were able to just register, get the funds for payment of goods and services they give out to people rendered. And then, so adoption of the alternative channels by the individual Nigerians is what has actually given us this figure that you're doing that.
Shego, but a lot of people would actually say that the POS guys, those that actually were working during the cash crunch, actually were really smiling to the bank, in quote, because transaction charges jumped to us about 30%, in as much as most Nigerians were actually struggling to pay this. But so far now, with the recent development and the cash being available everywhere, would you say that your members are actually following the due guidelines?
We're a secret spy agency.
CIA? MI6.
Lines.
During the cash crunch was not a regulated. It was something that was controlled by market forces, because for those that you mentioned were charging up to 40% charges, we would also tell you they were buying cash, even though it is illegal. They were buying cash, and they will tell you sometimes they buy this cash at 200 naira per 1,000, 300 naira per 1,000. They coming back to their own outlets also have to educate costs and mark up and so get their own profits. So, but having said that, since the Supreme Court gave the judgment and the federal government has actually show obedience, the price has really come down to normal. Even now, some of them they were charging exorbitantly at the time. They have resorted back to their old prices, and some were more like begging customers to use the alternative channel and POS, especially now, because the cash is now surplus in circulation. So that was a period that everybody, for those that were really that had cash, we're having a field day, you can say. But now the prices are really come down, and I think normalcy has returned.
All right, Shago, if you say normalcy has returned, just share with us really, what is normal right now. For instance, before the cash crunch, Nigerians were, withdrawing 5,000 from, bank agents for about 100 naira. But since the cash crunch and now, it went as high as, some paying about 500 or 1,000 naira for 5,000 naira. But right now, some POS operators are still charging as much as 200, 300 to withdraw, to dispense some 5,000 naira. So how would you say that normalcy has returned?
Yeah, even before now, the 100 naira being charged on 5,000 naira, it's not economically viable, or was not economically viable. If you put into consideration that we also live in this country and we also buy the same, buy gas from the same police station, and fuel is now 210, 220 naira, and cost of every other thing in the market has gone up. So on that 100 naira and 5,000, or even before the cash crunch, was not the real reflection of what our people should be charging. So if you are being charged 200 naira and 5,000 naira, it is really the price. 500 naira and 10,000, 400 naira and 10,000, depending on the area. But I will tell you, the days of 200 naira and 10,000 naira should be paid past now. We can't, because we also go to the same market like every other Nigerian, and we also shop in the same market with every other Nigerian.
Yeah,
We cannot continue to reduce our own charges.
I get all of that, Shago, but what I really want to find out right now, you have members under AMBAN. Is there a regulate, in as much as it might have been subject to review, but is there a regulated charge on all of this, withdrawals, maybe 5,000, 10,000? What is AMBAN doing as per regulating, this charges to go across board?
What we are doing is to decentralize the price regulation, because no two states are the same. We understand the cost of living in Lagos will be quite different from the cost of living in Abuja and in Sokoto and the like. So what the National Executive Council has done is to mandate each state chapter to come up with the price list suitable for the economic reality of their states. So you may in Abuja be getting 10,000 naira, 500 naira, and then in Sokoto maybe 700 naira, depending on the economic reality and some other indices and factors that come to play in this regard. So that is the position of the association.
Okay, let's still talk more about the e-payments and the financial inclusion vis-a-vis the Central Bank of Nigeria's cash withdrawal limit. It has been reviewed. AMBAN, I remember then when it was actually subjected to about 20,000 per weekend, there were calls for concern. But as it is right now, still on that aspect, how has it really affected your industry, and how have members been impacted on this so far? How is business for them with this policy and this ceiling that has been placed on withdrawal?
So that is another factor that we need to focus when we are talking about this pricing and the charges that agents charge across board. The limit is still there on the cash withdrawal over the counter and through the ATM. So what our members do, what agents do basically now, is to approach merchants who have volume of transactions and cash, and then try to help them to mop this cash, and they take them to their own affairs and dispense to those that will need cash in society. So if you want to go as an agent to the bank to withdraw, probably you won't be able to withdraw more than 100,000 naira a day, and that cannot substantially help you to service those that you have within your area. So alternative areas where we get cash is from merchants, filling station, supermarket, big pharmacies, and all of those. That's where we get our cash presently now. We are still in talks with the central bank to give us that recognition and categorization so that agents, mobile money agents, would be able to enter into the banking hall and withdraw minimum of 500,000 naira per day to serve effectively in their area.
Shego, what is the future? For the first quarter of this year, we saw a rise of 298% for e-transactions now. That was basically because of the cash crunch now. All of that is over. So what do we expect to see as per statistics for this second quarter?
I think what happened in the first quarter was the spike in numbers was expected because, of course, basically people had no other means of transacting during those periods, and then they had to resort to alternative channels. Going forward, I see normalcy returning, but the numbers will still rise, bearing in mind that a lot of Nigerians have also seen the need to embrace electronic payments as means of livelihood and to go about their businesses. So it will, but might be in a very conservative figure now, but there'll still be increases in the numbers. But I'm not sure the realities in the market will prove me either right or wrong. I'm not sure we'll have the same spike that we had in the first quarter, in the second quarter. And a lot also depends on the viability and the sustainability of the infrastructure that we have in the banking sector. If we are able to sustain the upgrade that has come in the wake of all of this, then people would embrace it more. But if we put into consideration that we still have a lot of Nigerians who have issues, disputes in the first quarter that have not been resolved, even now, then you will know that there are some of us that still have apprehension using the alternative.
All right, I must say a very big thank you to you, Oluwasegun Elegbede, the Public Relations Officer, the National PRO of AMBAN. Thanks for all of the useful insights that you have shared.